Good evening, and welcome to the Shepaug Commencement celebration for the class of 2020. Please join me in welcoming Class President Owen Moore, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome seniors Rebecca Roz and Jake Diller as they sing our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Families, friends, students, Superintendent Bennett, members of the Board of Education, and my colleagues of Region 12. I am honored to stand before you as we gather today to celebrate the class of 2020. Families and friends, welcome to this exciting day in the lives of our students. I consider myself blessed to share this experience with you each year, and I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this journey. This amazing group of seniors was born into a time when our world changed, the 2001 terrorist attacks. How closely we held our children, our families, our friends. Although my children were older in middle and high school, it was very hard to let them go, but let them go we did, and look what they've done with the freedom. My dear students, it is ironic to discover that you are now graduating at a time when the world is, once again, changing. In this, your senior year, you came to school one day only to be informed that we were headed to quarantine for 2 weeks, for a month, for the remainder of your senior year. Every day I look at my calendar and see what you have lost. Senior project events, prom, traditions that were redefined in an uncertain world. Instead of enjoying these events, our extended families, and even our friends, well, we went home. If quarantine were defined a few months ago, it would sound like a lonely and quiet time. But instead, something pretty amazing happened. We looked for new ways to connect. Zoom became a part of our everyday vocabulary. Car parades became a lively substitute for traditional gatherings. The Kick Corona Challenge was a fun way to show the internet world that Spartans know how to have fun and to highlight what is good in our world. It motivated me to sing and hula hoop online. No one saw that coming. I once thought that social media was a place where I should remain anonymous, separating my personal life from my life as a principal. That has all changed, and I love the change. This wonderful change is because of the way you adapted, you persevered, and you succeeded in making a scary and uncertain time fun and interesting. Your senior projects were changed, but not diminished. Our chorus joined alumna to create an uplifting virtual performance. And suddenly we all knew that we are nothing without each other and without beautiful music. I am so proud to lead this school. And so it goes, my dear students. You have impressed me, motivated me, warmed my heart. To quote a favorite song, "Because I knew you, I have been changed for good." I will never, ever forget the joy and pride I felt in the accomplishments of each of you and your dedicated teachers. Come back to Shepaug and tell us about your successes. Allow us to support you when your plans go awry. Wherever you may go, remember that the love and support of your families, your friends, and your school are with you every step of the way. Thank you, Class of 2020, for allowing us to bask in the warmth of your reflected glory. Go into the world with determination, perseverance, and pride. You've earned it. It is now my pleasure to introduce Salutatorian Liz Nunzik to share her reflections with her classmates.
Hello, Shepaug families, teachers, administrators, and most importantly, Class of 2020 graduates. We as the Class of 2020 have gone about our 4 more years within the Shepaug community in a style which was all our own, and thus it is only fitting that we exit in such a manner as well. As a community, we are here today to celebrate our graduating seniors, and to acknowledge the hard work that we have all put in to get us to this very moment, regardless of how unconventional this very moment may be. We were privileged to grow up in a community which was so careful to nurture the best pieces of ourselves, and to assist those pieces in blossoming into the individuals that we are today. We have been given more opportunities than most our age to grow into being better community members, global citizens, athletes, artists, vocationalists, thespians, literates, and most importantly, to just grow into being really good people. If there is one thing that has stuck with me through our time in Shepaug, it has been that we were expected to become masters of it all. It didn't truly matter if you weren't a math or history lover, you were still expected to pass the class and get the grade. As such, we have become pros at doing what we need to do to get by. This is absolutely not to say that we haven't worked hard. It is just to say that sometimes we worked hard to work through more than our fair share of classes that didn't really speak to us. This conundrum leads many of us to continue forward, unaware of what it is that gives us that spark. That spark that one finds only when they are truly excited about the possibility of learning something new. Overwhelmed by becoming proficient in it all, many of us feel as though we have failed to become a master of one. You see, economists will tell you that the world thrives off of specialization, and while that may be true, I would humanize it a bit to say that the world thrives off of passion, off of the passion of individuals like that which I have seen in all of you. While Shepaug has given us the opportunity to explore many avenues, succeeding your exit from these doors, it is now your duty to discover your passion and follow it. If you were lucky enough to discover your passion at Shepaug, continue to chase it wherever it may lead you. The most revolutionary of individuals, the Martin Luther King Jr.'s, Janis Joplin's, Harvey Milk's, Nelson Mandela's, Abraham Lincoln's, Joan of Arc's, Mozart, Shakespeare's, Eleanor Roosevelt's, Clara Barton's of the world, were those individuals who used their passion in humanity to make the world a better place. Never let anyone tell you that your passion is too big or too small. There is much of the world that needs bettering, and passions of all sizes are needed to do the job. With all this talk of the future, I must also say what I know we are all thinking. We are bound to be graduating into a world where currently there seems to be a lack of solid footing. For many of us, we may be looking at another fall of online classes, internships postponed, military departure dates pushed off, or a difficult labor force to find entry to. If it was difficult to imagine where we were going to be a year from now in the past few months, it is nearly impossible now. When thinking about how to address this looming unknown, I was reminded of a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote which has always brought me much comfort in times of uncertainty. What lies behind us and what lies ahead of us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. This is true of each and every one of you. If online learning has highlighted anything, it has been that we adapt, we change our plans, we put our feet down when necessary, and most importantly, we overcome challenges. We live this way because it is all we have ever known. Growing up in a world heavily impacted by school shootings, climate change, and police brutality, each made all the more accessible through social media, we, whether we know it or not, have already become more empathetic individuals. Exposed to numerous wrongs, we should now have a strong enough moral compass to guide us towards what is right and to fight to uphold it. So yes, right now the world is full of uncertainties, though you by no means should feel ill-equipped in dealing with them. Because as Emerson stated so gracefully, the past and the future are tiny matters compared to what lies within each one of you to deal not only with the uncertainties of the future, but the injustices of the present. There are a few final messages that I would like to leave you off with, pocket messages if you will. If you are ever in the place to lift others up, then do so. If you have a platform to give a voice to the otherwise voiceless, then use it. If you have a will, though you don't yet have a way, continue to push through and a way will find you. If you have a passion, continue to chase it, share it, explore it, and never let anyone tell you that it isn't worthy of your time or that you aren't capable of achieving what you set out to. Be generous, be kind, and work hard. And finally, class of 2020, may every door be open to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Assistant Principal Michael Croft will now introduce the winner of the Academic Commitment Award.
Starting with the class of 1996, Shepaug students have been recognized for the strong commitment that they bring to academic studies by demonstrating purpose, setting long and short-term goals, demonstrating perseverance, and producing quality work. It was decided that the Shepaug learning community would recognize the senior who earned the most academic commitment credits in his or her high school career, and that we would make that recognition at graduation. As stated in our core values, learning requires courage. And the winner of the Academic Commitment Award has demonstrated the courage to work diligently and with purpose throughout her educational career at Shepaug. This recipient was noted for her academic commitment 82 times throughout the course of her high school career. Join me in recognizing Sienna Moore for the perseverance and sense of purpose that she brought to each classroom challenge at Shepaug. Congratulations, Sienna.
The class of 2020 is a community of service providers. To illustrate this point, I am honored to recognize the 10 members of this class who have decided to commit themselves to military service. Clinton Clady, United States Marine Corps. Nathan Dusky, Air Force National Guard. Isabel Eddy, Air Force ROTC at Harvard University. Theodore Eichen, United States Marine Corps. Mark Genoa, United States Air Force. Gavin McCabe, Air Force National Guard. Gwen Noto, Air Force National Guard. Henry Rausch, Connecticut Air National Guard at the University of Connecticut. Lily Shore, United States Military Academy at West Point. Brian Vargas, United States Marine Corps. This Marine mom and a grateful nation thanks you for your service. Michael Boucher will now introduce the winner of the Community Service Award.
Community service is one of the most significant ways we promote giving back to the community, and thereby teach and model our answering a call to citizenship learner outcome. Due to the importance that we place on service, it was decided that the senior who contributes the most community service hours would be recognized at graduation. I am pleased to announce that Lily Schur is our Community Service Award winner. Lily completed over 300 hours of community service, most recently volunteering at SUNY Purchase and the Dancers Responding to AIDS. Congratulations, Lily.
Each year, a member of our Board of Education proudly assists the superintendent at graduation. This year, Chairman Greg Cava will represent our board in the conferring of diplomas. Please welcome him.
Good evening, Shepaug Class of 20. You've arrived at a watershed moment in your lives few would describe as propitious. You've foregone more than your share of what usually passes for a senior year in the Shepaug Valley. You've sacrificed, some because you had no choice, but most because you heard the call to sacrifice for the greater good, for your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your friends and their families, and your community. It wasn't easy doing what this emergency required and what we asked of you, and yet you stayed the course, completing your high school education with school buildings off limits, presenting your senior projects in the ether, and yes, making plans for the future in uncertain times, and enduring the least traditional graduation ceremony ever. This is not the first time the good people of the Shepaug Valley have been called to sacrifice. The Spanish flu pandemic of 1918, the privations of the Great Depression, rationing during the Second World War, and yes, the willingness of so many to give the last full measure of their devotion in service of country. These all come to mind. And yet the flexibility and determination you've exhibited show assuredly that you're made of the same stuff. As you start the next chapter of your lives, remember the selflessness that you modeled. Recall your impulse to sacrifice to protect the vulnerable. Forget not the importance of civic engagement, the satisfaction of doing your duty to participate, collaborate, and preserve the democracy that has been placed in your hands for safekeeping. Hold tight to your principles and go forward determined not just to survive this ordeal, but to use the opportunities for change it presents to build a better world. I know I speak for the entire Board of Education when I tell you that we serve because we believe in you, in your capacity to work hard, to do good, to love, to care, and most importantly, in your decency, bravery, and fortitude in meeting the challenge of your age. You answered the call, you stood and delivered, and we couldn't be more proud of you. Thank you.
Our Superintendent, Megan Bennett, will now announce several award winners and address the class.
The Litchfield County Superintendent's Award is given to leaders of the class. This year, Rebecca Rotz was recognized for her service to Shepaug, both in the classroom and in the community. Congratulations to Rebecca. I would also like to recognize our class leaders who received the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education Award. I am pleased to recognize Lily Shear and Owen Moore. Congratulations to you both. Good evening, graduating class of 2020, Principal Gallo, Assistant Principal Croft, Board of Education members, Selectmen Jim Brinton, Curtis Reed, and Barbara Henry, and to all of our distinguished guests and family here tonight. Thank you for your love and support that has brought our students to this monumental occasion. My name is Megan Bennett, and I have the honor of being the superintendent for Region 12 schools. Well, this class has certainly changed the natural course of education. I think we can all agree that there is nothing traditional about the class of 2020. I have watched this class take on challenges greater than their predecessors and accomplish the unthinkable. I've looked back in your history. You are the class that took on the shift to new math, drama productions that never premiered, managing the prom the same day as a CAAC tournament, and, oh yeah, a pandemic. Your grandchildren are never going to believe your story of senior year. No more stories of walking uphill in the snow both ways. You have quarantine, where you weren't allowed to walk anywhere. You, ladies and gentlemen, of Shepaug's class of 2020, are fierce. But even in quarantine, you were Spartans. Never defined by a building, you are defined by our Spartan values. And Spartans, I want to talk to you about your namesake. Spartans were a Greek warrior civilization, and their legendary toughness and spirit echo in history. And part of that Spartan culture was an understanding. If you dropped your shield, you lost your citizenship. See, your helmet and your breastplate were to protect yourself, whereas your shield, well, that was to protect your group. Well, Shepaug Spartans, meet your new shield. Each of you has taken up your shield and protected the group, guarding each other to ensure the safety and protection of the Shepaug community. Now, The Shepaug community is a little less defined by traditional borders. We are not contained by one geographic location or town. We incorporate more than one town, more than one mind, and this year, more than one educational setting. We have the gift of being boundless. We have the gift of being parts of various communities and cultures. And you are now spreading our culture and our values in your next endeavor. So never forget your Spartan culture. We are Shepaug proud, and we are Spartans. Best wishes, class of 2020.
Francesca Annabella Amato. Gabriella Juliana Amato. Isabella Sky Augustine. Erin Cecilia Bailey.
Miles Bennett.
Anna Elizabeth Bialak. Cameron J. E. Brown. Ty James Brown. Sarah Paige Caprolozzi. Noah Alexander Cisamaro. Clinton Vernon Clady. Jared William Clark. Autumn Rose Collette. Jaden Bryce Cornwall. Taryn Lynn Crossley. Mark Joseph Desrochers. Jake Eric Diller. Russell Dorenzo. Drew A. Dorwald. Cole Patrick Donahue. Nathan Miles Dusky. Robert E. Dreska, Jr. Theodore Wilson Eichen. Isabella Marie Fazone. Mark Caleb Genoa. Michael Martin Granada. Carly Ellis Gruss. Spencer Lee Hausberg. Bailey Ann Heron. Tiffany Amber Horton. Carter Brown Holden. Michael Anthony Iannucci. Paul Evan David Jones. Cole Paul Karish. Grant Stephen Ketchum. Gianluca Michael LeClaire. Noah Gabriel Levine. Rhiannon Elizabeth Luna. Christopher Nicola Marchese. Haley May Martin. John Cortland Maxwell. Gavin James McCabe. Alexa Janai McCarley. Oscar Cespedes Medina. Maya Turnbull Misana. Sienna Marie Moore. Maxwell Solar Nast. Guinevere Lynn Noto. Devin Marie O'Dwyer. Sydney Kirsten Oakenquist. Nadia Helena Ostrowski. Reese Summer Peck. Edward Andrew Puskis. Lucy Elsie Puskis. Darden Ratsai. Rebecca Eileen Raz. Henry Andrew Rausch. Olivia Kate Saraceno. Lily Jean Shore. Julia Marie Sinatra. Skylar Elizabeth Soletsky. Colin Jared Southard. Nathaniel Louis Sproviero. Mahalet Kate Steinmetz. Robert Michael Tanner. Gabriel Aguiar Toronto. Alexis Jasmine Thibodeau. Aryuj Ramneesh Trahan. Chloe Quinn Tuz. Brian Christopher Vargas. Annika Reha Vikstrom. Gowan Addison Woodard. Elizabeth Ann Nunzik. Isabel Armanea Eddy.
Owen Matthew Moore.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Shepaug Class of 2020. Owen, please come forward and lead your classmates in the turning of the tassel. It is my special honor to announce your valedictorian, Isabel Eddy, who will share her reflections.
Good evening, Superintendent Bennett, Principal Gallo, Vice Principal Croft, members of the Board of Education, all Shepaug faculty and staff, graduating students, and their family and friends. For years now, we've watched our past friends graduate, and we've imagined our own moment. And while this was not what anyone could have imagined, I want to take a moment to thank the Shepaug administration for all of their hard work in planning a socially distant graduation and their dedication to making the best of this situation. This is our graduation, the class of 2020. Each year, for 12 years, we've done things out of an interest in school-wide success. We were invested in the outcome of each other's endeavors, and we relied on each other for a great high school experience. We went to each Shepaug Dramatics production for Noah Sisamaro's talent in the lighting booth, and for Jake's spirited acting that never failed to make us laugh and cry, no matter the play. We packed the Valley for basketball games, there to see Jaden's three-pointers and Lucy's amazing defense. We supported Cameron as he hurdled past the other team. We watched Mike Iannucci zip around the rink and Alexa charge down the field full of determination. We watched the homecoming games to see Nathan's unstoppable energy and Drew breaking ankles and filling us with Spartan pride. It was hard to stay quiet during swim meets while watching Mark DeRochers complete back-to-back perfect dives and Carly put her name on the board. We went to cheer as a part of Sharks Cove, our sports fan club named after its leader whose school spirit is unbeatable, and which wasn't complete without Francesca's perfectly put-together pep rally outfits, Devin's commitment to bringing in everyone, and Bobby's loud cheers that could make the entire fan section stand up. We went to the World Affairs Forum to watch our classmates, such as Lily and Becca, speak clearly about complex issues. We wouldn't miss hearing their deep understanding of the world and their proposed solutions to serious problems. We were proud of Liz and Henry for representing our school at Model UN in special committees, and of Catherine for joining this year, admiring how they all articulated global predicaments so the rest of us could follow along. Class debates were also compelling, as we could always rely on Taryn and Annika to bring forth a controversial topic and then defend their sides so well that half the class would find themselves agreeing. We attended the distracted driving simulation to see the product of Gavin's hard work, and we came away more responsible and educated citizens. So many of our classmates gave us this gift of community responsibility. Owen with his impactful research on Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, Haley with her artistic designs portraying traumatic brain injury in a striking manner, Carter with his desire to shed light upon male breast cancer, and Reese, who wants us all to see the beauty in nature like she does and to be kinder to our environment. We went to social studies to hear Eddie and Paul, two walking history books, enlighten us on fascinating and often neglected details of various wars. Julia and Gabriella did the same in English, referencing obscure books and explaining complicated symbolism nobody else caught. No class would be the same without Clinton's interesting perspectives, Rhiannon's comments that got everyone laughing, or Mahalet's calming voice getting everyone back on track. We appreciated the rational and charitable minds of those who gladly explained difficult subjects, such as Nadia and Sienna with math, and Max with science. They were always able to explain things in a manner that wouldn't make us feel awkward or inferior for reaching out. Though we went to lunch for a meal with our friends, it was incomplete without an inspirational speech from B-Rod about chasing your dreams, a song written and produced by Ty Brown BMX, and if we were lucky enough that he had brought his guitar, a couple of great tunes from Gabe. We looked forward to a solid high five from Anna Bilak, a song recommendation from Isabella Augustine, and a funny story from John Maxwell. We walked down the hall to see Maya's beautiful and surreal tree art, Bella Fazzone's pretty pastel works, and to admire the lighthearted pieces of Sydney, Autumn, and Sarah, which reflected their happy demeanors and bright personalities. We learned so much from each other, so many amazing skills. Colin and Jared's computer genius, Spencer's awesome blacksmithing and the way he crafted his own sword, Gianluca's Lego construction sites and architectural planning, Gowan and Robert's agricultural knowledge and ability to operate machines most of us can't even pronounce, Tiffany's scuba diving accomplishments and care for our local rivers, Gwen's artistic talent and interesting doodles that could get the whole class drawing while we kind of listened, and Skylar's album that made us want to try our own hands at songwriting before realizing it has a lot to do with natural talent and can't be learned overnight. We came for Darden and Bailey's hilarious wit, the two go-to people when we needed an MC, and for Noah Levine's daily dad joke, for Aaron and Alexis's bubbly attitudes and infectious smiles, and for Nathaniel's intelligent sarcasm and Russie's equally entertaining response. To hear Teddy and Mark Genoa, both who hold immense passion for service and our country, argue lightheartedly about the superiority of their respective branch, Grant was never too far behind, contributing a good laugh to anyone that looked a little down. We wanted to see Oscar, always dressed to the nines and ready to voice an opinion, and Chris, who wore the same sweatshirt every day and is everyone's best friend. We came to have a laugh with Cole Carish, whose dry humor can't hide how much he cares about others, and to get advice from Chloe and Olivia, who were always ready to offer an empathetic ear. Despite our quarantined gloom, we enjoyed Decision Day and the subsequent morning announcement to see Arjuge, the voice of reason, comically argue with Cole Donaghy, who just wants to give everyone a nice big bro hug. At the end of this ceremony, when we all receive our diplomas, whether physically or in the mail, they will each look the same, but their meanings are incomparable. For some, it's a long-awaited freedom from a small town. For others, it's a heartbreaking goodbye to what's been a family they've known since kindergarten, or even before. For some, it's a ticket to higher education, and for others, it's the proof of graduation they need to be deployed next September. It's a memento to 12 years of schooling and 12 years of learning from one another how to be adults and how to care about others and the world around us. We learned and grew from each other's joys and each other's tragedies. We learned that the world is much, much larger than ourselves. We have all helped each other earn that invitation to our own graduation, and though we'll always carry a piece of Shepaug in our hearts, we're here to see ourselves off and to enter the great unknown. Thank you.
Donna Wright will now announce the winners of the Connecticut Association of Schools Arts Award.
Good evening. The Connecticut Association of Schools recognizes a male and female student each year who represents high achievement in the arts. This year, Jake Diller and Maya Masana represent the high ideals of the Shepaug arts. Congratulations.
Athletic Director Matt Paracci will now announce the winners of the CIAC Scholar Athlete Awards.
Each year, Shepaug Valley School recognizes one female and one male from the senior class who have best displayed a commitment to excellence in the area of academics as well as athletics. This year's scholar athletes have consistently made sacrifices throughout their high school careers, and both are National Honor Society members and three-sport athletes. Shepaug's 2020 scholar athletes, who were both members of the cross-country, swimming, and outdoor track teams, are Isabel Eddy and Owen Moore.
Wendy Youngblood will now represent the senior project team in announcing those seniors who distinguished themselves with excellence in senior project.
Good evening. Each year, the Shepaug Learning Community recognizes those seniors who have demonstrated excellence and distinction in Senior Project. As many of you know, Senior Project is a year-long course where students research a challenging topic and then develop and implement a plan to achieve a specific goal. Students who earn the award for excellence and distinction in Senior Project have demonstrated commitment, diligence, and passion toward his or her senior project, so much so that their good work has become a part of who each of these students will be in the future. I am pleased to announce the 2020 Senior Project with Excellence and Distinction Award winners. Gabriella Amato, Greenery Graphics. Jaden Cornwall, Air Jaden. Michael Granata, Preventing the Tear. Carly Gruss, Coloring for a Cause. Spencer Hausberg, Becoming a Blacksmith. Owen Moore, Life with Stripes, Awareness for Airless Downloads. Reese Peck, Clean and Green. And Darden Ratzai, The Director's Cut.
Each year, our seniors choose a member of the Shepaug staff to address them at graduation, based on his or her relationship with the class. Andrew St. John will now address our seniors.
Thank you. Good evening, Shepaug Valley, family and friends, townspeople and neighbors. Good evening, Region 12 staff and faculty. Good evening to Principal Gallo, Assistant Principal Croft. Good evening to Dean Parachi and Superintendent Bennett. And lastly, good evening and congratulations to our Shepaug Valley graduating class of 2020. My name is Andrew St. Jean, and I have been given the pleasure as this year's 2020 graduation guest speaker. A few months ago, back in March, I was approached by one of our seniors. I was told that the senior class had nominated my name to speak at this year's graduation. I was told there were other candidates, but I was grateful and overwhelmed to have been thought of. I've been told before at the elementary level and here at Shepaug by parents and staff that the kids look up to me as a role model. Our senior class officers told me they admire my consistent hard work and commitment that I dedicate to the school. They told me they value my charisma. I take great pleasure in recognizing our kids' accomplishments, and I think that they see that. I think they very much enjoy it when I watch play rehearsal at night, to see them set up the stage, to try on costumes, to review their lines. Now, I've never been to a play, I've never seen an opera or a Broadway performance, but I know I enjoy watching the rehearsals, and I know I do it because it's important and because it's the right thing to do. It's important that they see someone like myself taking time out for them. I know that I enjoy watching our sports events. When I watch our swimming and diving teams, or when I'm at a basketball game, cheering and supporting our kids' efforts. I know that I enjoy when I meet with them for their senior projects, and we discuss the ideas and motivation behind their projects. I know they admire and appreciate the support and interest that I contribute. It's even more of a pleasure when I attend their senior project presentations. When we all see the hard work and effort they have put in, it simply feels good. And that's the payoff, right? That's the reward, is that it feels good. National Honor Society Night is another major success for our students that I enjoy attending. The academic achievements they have attained are overwhelming. Some of these students are also carrying 1 to 3 sports as well. The hard work and dedication to excel speaks volumes. Now, those who know me know that I'm not a parent, I'm not a father, but I do know that it's crucial. It's an absolute and major mandatory requirement as an adult that these accomplishments, these goals, these achievements are to be regularly highlighted, showcased, bragged about, recognized, and spotlighted. Their work and efforts are to be strongly emphasized and admired. So I don't typically speak for others. I generally just speak for Andrew. I concentrate on me. I concentrate on just being me. However, I'm confident with this one exception. Our staff, our faculty and administration, our paraprofessionals, the teachers, the guidance counselors, and our coaches, we know it's a mission and duty, a responsibility and obligation, but more so, please know, it's an absolute pleasure, an overwhelming privilege and joy to put your children before ourselves. Lastly, to all the grandparents and legal guardians, and to all the moms and dads, some of these kids, young adults, will be leaving the house for their first job. They'll be gone for the day. Others will be leaving for school, full-time, and gone away for the season. At dinner, there's going to be a few less plates and dishes to clean. The load of laundry at the end of the week is going to be a little bit smaller, and the house is going to be a little bit quieter. Please, those of you who have any uncertainty or doubts regarding your children's absence and their desire and mission to succeed in life, don't. If there is anyone's word of confidence and absolute certainty and positive sureness that you can accept and take from anyone, please, take my word. Your children are going to end up being just fine. It's no secret what Region 12 and Shepaug Valley are doing. Our teachers and coaches, our guidance department, Principal Gallo, Assistant Principal Croft, and Dean Parachi have fine-tuned their craft and the skill they perfected, and that is creating and producing really good humans. Shepaug Valley is turning out really great people, and today's graduating class of 2020 is a fine representation of just that. I would like to thank the entire senior class for letting me share this special day with you. I would like to express my sincere appreciation and thanks for thinking of my name or even considering my presence to represent and speak on your behalf today. I would like to thank my senior officers, Miss Gabriella Amato, Miss Lily Shore, Mr. Jaden Cornwall, and Mr. Owen Moore. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am overwhelmed and thrilled to be here today and equally flattered. I am very proud of all of you. I wish you all the best of luck and my very best wishes. Thank you.
We missed the gauntlet at the close of graduation, allowing us the opportunity to hug you and wish you well one more time. Instead, a member of each department will deliver a brief message to our graduates, led by your class advisors, Heather Hurley and Betsy O'Neill.
Hey, it's Hurls and Bets. Over the years, we've had our ups and downs. We've seen you overcome obstacles. We've seen you grow into mature adults. We have had so much fun with all of you. But most of all, we will miss you tremendously. We will miss hearing your stories. We're going to miss sharing your accomplishments. We will even miss your complaints. We will miss your hugs, your smiles, and your laughter. And how you had that uncanny ability to find us when you needed something. We are so very proud of you.
Hello, class of 2020, and congratulations on graduating high school during this most unprecedented time. As I stand here in this greenhouse, I reflect upon all of the opportunities for new growth and development and experiences headed to each and every one of you. Once again, congratulations.
Over the past 3 months, we have had to find creative solutions to learning, socializing, working, and figuring out this new environment we find ourselves in. That creative problem solving is hopefully what you learned and practiced in art classes throughout your whole school career. Most of you are not going off in life to pursue an art career, but you all can be creative in your own chosen field. Go out into the world with a curious mind, think for yourself, find your own path, be kind, and be amazing. Congratulations, seniors.
Congratulations, graduates from the Career and Tech Ed Department. A smart person once said, if you have red paint, you paint your barn red. How does this apply to the class of 2020? Don't dwell on what you didn't have, but focus on what you possess. Go forth and use your talents, skills, and attributes to paint the world many colors. One last thing. Make sure you get your full company match in your 401k. It's the closest thing to free money. Good luck.
Congratulations, class of 2020. What a surreal way to end your school year and your journey here. The world is changing, and it's in your image. Know that you have the power to influence, to affect, to create, and to steward the future. Your actions, large and small, ripple through communities and through time, and your class has surely left its mark on our school. Thank you for your hard work, your creativity, your resiliency, and your care for one another. We are so proud of you, and we can't wait to see what the future holds. And as author George Saunders said, and someday, in 80 years, when you're 100 and I'm 134, drop me a line. Let me know how your life has been. I hope you will say, it has been so wonderful.
Congratulations, class of 2020. On behalf of the mathematics department here at Shepaug, we want to remind you that your future holds infinite possibilities and that your success will be a function of your hard work. Remember that the speed bumps in your life are parabolas you need to climb to reach your maximum potential. In the words of Steve Jobs, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Remember to come back and tell us about your great achievements. We believe in you and know you will be missed.
Congratulations to all of you. This world will never be the same, and it will never go back to what it was, but not because of some sickness or some quarantine laws, but because of you. It won't be the same because of what you bring to it. Stay focused and work hard.
Hello, SVS class of 2020. Mrs. Stewart, Mrs. Hurley, and myself would like to congratulate you on your graduation from Shepaug Valley School. From the first day of school this year, you have worked hard to create a kind and welcoming environment for all. This has been greatly appreciated by your fellow students, your teachers, all of the staff in the building, and the community. As you move forward in your future career decisions, we would like you to remember two things. One, always take pride in your work. And two, to always be on time. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck.
In many ways, as unusual as this has been, you have a most memorable and unique graduation. The perseverance you showed to finish the year will carry you far, and the sacrifices you've had to make to put the needs of others before your own reflect your caring and generous spirit. Work hard, be kind, and be persistent. Congratulations and good luck, class of 2020.
Courage doesn't always roar or make a big show. Sometimes courage is your quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Remember that it took courage to get where you are today, and that even your lowest, quietest moments can be filled with strength. You are brave. You got this, Shepaug class of 2020. It has been an honor and a privilege. Godspeed and congratulations to you all.
Today's your day, class of 2020. Nothing can change that. Your accomplishments are vast, and each one of you possess the capacity to make the world a better place than you found it. You leave a legacy that has redefined what it means to be resilient and persistent. Embrace discomfort, be good to one another, and always, always, always stay curious. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm happy to speak on behalf of the school psychologists and the school counselors this evening. There are two lasting bequests we hope to give to our children. One is to have roots, and the other is to have wings. So our hope as school counselors and school psychologists for the class of 2020 is that they always remember their roots and their loving community and those who helped them in their journey, and that they have wings to go out and explore the world, find their passion, and live their best life. Congratulations, class of 2020. We miss you and we love you.
The world language teachers join me in congratulating you, the Shepaug class of 2020. Senora Holsgruby, Madam Creo, Senora Hines, Senor Nolan, and I have enjoyed watching you grow during your time at Shepaug and look forward to seeing how you continue to do so. Felicitaciones, chers élèves. Felicidades, queridos estudiantes.
Because today is a celebration of the senior class, it is fitting that Class President Owen Moore deliver the closing reflections. After his address, he will lead the recessional that symbolically delivers you to your future. Welcome, Owen.
Good evening. I would like to welcome administration, staff, parents, families, and friends in the class of 2020 to our very unique graduation ceremony. It has been quite the year, and I know this is a day we all have been anticipating for a very long time. Although this may look different than we may have envisioned, there is still that sense of excitement and pride in our hearts to finally be at the end of this 4-year-long journey. This has been quite the ride, and I am in awe of how fast this time together has gone. This wouldn't have been possible without the help of Mrs. Hurley and Mrs. O'Neill, who are our amazing class advisors. I don't know where we would be without the two of you and your constant dedication to this class. Your willingness to help us succeed and put up with us is truly admirable. I can honestly say that you both have made a significant impact on me as a person and the rest of our class. Thank you for sticking by our side through these 4 years and always being there for us when we needed you. To say I will miss you too is a severe understatement. You are considered family. I know you guys will always be a text or call away when we need you. As I reflect back on our 4+ years together, I recall how distinct our class was. Within the classroom, on the sports field, and extracurricular activities, our class does it all. We have Model UN members, varsity athletes, art club members, theater and stage crew kids, debaters, and more. Our class always strived to be the best in anything that we did. This translated to any class event we held, whether it was the Bazaar, Talent Show, or Mr. Shepaug. The class of 2020 was always the most creative and successful, constantly thinking outside the box. Through our many successes, our class has been able to adapt to adversity when given the challenge. Whether this was through class fundraising, issues facing our school, or activities, our class always rose to the occasion. I think that's what I will remember most, our willingness to come together when it truly mattered, even though we didn't always see eye to eye. This unity has carried over into the end of our high school careers and how we have overcome the odds, coming together to still celebrate this very important day in our lives. It will be one we will never ever forget. Ending high school this way has been one of the most heartbreaking experiences, but everyone's journey in life comes with a few bumps. We all have experienced our own bumps along this journey of high school together and have learned valuable lessons through this time. Our ability to adapt to challenges has shown bright during distance learning and how to think critically about celebrating our class, future endeavors, and senior project events that had to be canceled. Our entire learning environment was flipped upside down, and we had to think critically about keeping ourselves on track through this time apart. This ability to be creative will make us better problem solvers in the world and help us to overcome hurdles in our future experiences, whether that be college, the workforce, the military, or any other endeavor you pursue. When we walked out of Shepaug on March 13th, we never expected that we would not return to finish our senior year. I will never forget being in Mrs. Chagrew's 7th period class and her telling us that, no matter what happens, you know in your heart you got a good education. Her words are the culmination of the Shepaug experience, which includes the personal connections we built with the staff in the building. This is what makes our school a truly unique place. Through this time, we need to remember to reflect on all the good times and learning experiences that we had at Shepaug, rather than the tragic way our last year together ended. For most of us, we've had the pleasure of calling Shepaug our home for the last 7 years. Some of us have been together since pre-K and kindergarten, making this a truly special day to honor everything we have been through as Spartans. As we say goodbye to Shepaug, remember all the fun we had together in that building. Whether it be the laughs, the tears, the hours of schoolwork, or long practices, we made the most out of our high school experience. Although we might not be graduating in a traditional way, this pandemic does not define our class's success. We have so many great achievements to be proud of, and that's what we will remember during these trying times. As we move forward in life, this time will have given us the building blocks to be more mindful of others and to think critically about the things we take for granted. Unfortunately, we missed out on senior prom, our senior sports season, our senior trip, and other senior activities, but we have so much more life to live that we should be grateful for those future opportunities that await us. We are stepping into the next phase of our lives, and it will certainly be an exciting ride as we look forward to everything that life has to offer. This is just another bump in the road in our journey, and we need to express our profound gratitude to those bumps, because those rough patches are what will make us even better when our life returns to normal. As we head in different directions, remember to always embrace the challenges that life offers you and make the most out of any given situation, knowing that you did your best to make it a part of your life journey. Thank you and congratulations.